so much effort. So everybody really, needs, this kind of motivation. And we won the championship last year, and the expectations are high. So we set ourselves a high goal, and we were going to try to win the 24 hours first, and hopefully, we can go for another championship.
Just echo what Memo said. It's the exact same thing. I mean, it's great to have that momentum come out of this race. But when we come into this race, we focus on this race. We don't, I shouldn't say we don't look at the championship, because that's not.
But you don't.
Not right. But it is. We do.
But you need the points.
It's kind of in the back of your head. But, more than anything else is to win this race and get out and get it done. And it's nice to get that momentum going this year as we head into Austin here in about 4 weeks.
All the way in the back, I believe we have one.
Steve Conley, MotorRacingDigest.com. Scott, when you see the 0-2 go out permanently, know that he's completely done at the end of the race, is it a little disconcerting to you, or are you able to, what are you thinking in the car when you know you have the most dominant race car out on the track?
Well, from the standpoint of teammate, you always want to have your teammate out there with you. I mean, things can happen, and it's nice to be in a position to have two cars, most certainly. Chip enters two cars because you never know what's going to happen. Something could, unfortunately, happen to one car. With what happened to the 02 car, as we looked at the 01 car, any concerns on that front from their failure to the end of the race? No. I mean, that was, we believe, a byproduct of something that happened earlier, and certainly we weren't concerned with the reliability of the 01. I mean, the 01 is it's a rock solid car. I mean, the thing it's fun to drive, and I think AJ Allmendinger put it really well. I mean, we took advantage of a situation this year, and last year they took advantage of their situation with their engine manufacturer.
For Scott, Joe Jennings, Racing Nations, how does this 5th victory in the 24 hours rate or rank against your other victories here or any other significant accomplishments in your career?
They're all great. I mean, with the 5 championships that we've won, and now the 5 overall wins here at the Rolex 24, 5 for 5 is nice. But they're all different, but they are all as sweet. I mean, winning a championship is different than winning this race. Winning this race the first time is different than winning it the second time. Every event that I've come here is significantly different. Sometimes you're faced with rain, and sometimes you're faced with incredibly hot temperatures, and sometimes you're faced with a car that is certainly down from where you'd hope it would be, but you just kind of keep digging the whole time. So overall, they're all very special.
All right, do we have more questions for our champions? Here we go. Mr. Ingram.
Jonathan Ingram from RacingToday.com. Scott, you once said after your accident in the IndyCar that the only time you really felt good physically was when you were driving a race car. To what extent, today it was clear you were pretty much in pain when you got out. To what extent does your injuries, or do your injuries aggravate you or bother you, either regular day-to-day life or when you're driving the car?
Well, they bother me from the time I wake up in the morning. I mean, it's not getting any better. I mean, for sure, it's getting worse. I mean, everything, from, shattering my ankles to breaking my back, breaking my knees, and then all the other stuff along the way with shoulders and elbows. And I mean, it's just, it all takes its toll. And, we were good for a long time, but, and I could still run, really fast and a good pace. My only concern was going head to head with a guy and having to really stomp on the brake and maybe out deep somebody. I just wasn't 100% confident. And then with the talented group of guys up here who could get it done, that's one of those things where, you don't want to step back, but the right thing to do is to go, turn it over to one of these guys that can get it done, and Juan did.
Coming to you.
For Scott, or if anybody else wants to add a comment, I think you're in the room when Angelelli made his comments about racing with his wrist tied. Is there any comment you could make about the Grand-Am's rules equalization program, how it may have benefited you this weekend, or if not, or any comment about that issue?
Well, I didn't quite hear his comment about that. I think we were still walking in the room.
He said I was here. He said he has his hand ties, and I mean, it's well, he said we've been in that situation, and even in that situation, we fought for the win, and even last year, even when we were down on power, and I think I'll tell you the truth. You look at, I said earlier, you look at the other two BMWs, the 42 and 43. They were as quick as a field. I think as a team, we did a really good job taking drag out of the car and understanding what needed to be done to get that top speed up. And, you know what I mean? We did our homework, and it paid off.
They had the best cars last year during the season. And, it turns out we had a good car, and then they didn't win. And I think it's one of those deals, it's not only speed, but, you need to have the whole package, a good team, no mistakes, everything. I mean, they were the quickest cars all of 2012. But they just made too many mistakes. He needs to remember that. Right?
I think it's a great thing that Grand-Am continually looks to equalize the cars. As you saw, all the Rileys had to add drag to the cars, and everybody knew that we were at a deficit on the engine side. I mean, we won 2 races. Chevy won 8 races last year. So I think it was pretty clear where the dominance was, and I think what we've seen so far, if it's not right, they'll come back and fix it. I mean, the NASCAR regime has always been to entertain the fans with close competition, and our series is owned by NASCAR with the same philosophy, and if they feel, I'll guarantee there's probably a good chance our car will be impounded and taken back to the NASCAR Tech Center, and they'll have a good close look at it and make any sort of changes needed if they feel like they need to do it.
Juan?
A question for all of you. This might be a little difficult for you, Charlie, since this is your first big endurance race. Considering as an endurance race, have any of you ever been in a better car for a 24-hour race?
Than this year? Yeah. I think, I'll tell you the truth, I think the first year BMW came on board, I'll tell you the truth, I did think we had a big advantage then. I think today we had a big advantage because I think our aero package was a lot better, more than horsepower. If you see the infield, we didn't have a big advantage. The other thing is the 9 car, the sister car of the 10, I really struggled to pass them down the straight. And they had the same downforce than us. The 10 car had a ton of downforce to be quick in the infield, and they paid the penalty. So it's all very relative.
I think our car, one of the strongest points was that it didn't really change the balance much from daylight to night. I typically, I think in the past we've typically struggled with having a car that's tight or understeers in the day. It gets loose at night, and vice versa. I think this car was very consistent, and the good thing is you could settle the car with the bars and compensate whatever lack of grip in the tires you were losing from rear to front tires. So it was very consistent. That was the thing. This car, you could easily drive it consistently, and it's something you work really hard to. But it's easy to say, but not easy to do. I mean, ask the engineers. I mean, sometimes you work as hard as you can, and you don't get a car as good as you wanted. And this time, I think we achieved it.
It was easy to drive, yeah.
Easy to drive.
It wasn't the best, but it was certainly up there with the top 3 that I've driven here. As Memo was saying, the thing that I was impressed with is that the car was always the same. I mean, it changed at night, but the balance didn't change. Just it seemed like the grip of the tire just had longer, just longer longevity at night than during the day. You go further before you felt like you started to give up a little bit on the tire. So, overall, every time I got in the car, the balance was the same, and the bars were set the same, and the things that we did while we were in the car was the same every stint for me, and I think these guys as well. I mean, it was a wonderful car to drive.
Out of those other 2, you said it was top 3. Did you win with the other 2?
The other year that we won here, and one of the years that we should have won here, I think was I'm going to say 09. 10? 9.
You know, when Justin brought the car to the garage,
Yeah.
you were leading by nearly a lap. Yeah.
I think it's 10.
It was 10.
It was 10. That car was really good as well. We finished second that year. It was just a mistake that was made.
Oh, first year BMW.
First year
BMW.
First year BMW.
Yeah, that we were
2010.
leading and he blew up. You remember?
Yep.
I was in the other car, and
Yep.
we have what's with the test engineer.
So that would be for sure number 2, and maybe even better than this car as well. And then the year I won with Nissan, that was a good car, but it was a whole different pace too. I mean, there's a couple cars that were going at it. It was a whole different. It's a whole different race. I mean, what we've seen with the Rolex Sports Car Series is, I mean, you got to get it all the time. I mean, you're running hard 24 hours, and it wasn't until probably the last 7-8 years that it's been that way.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations.
Thanks.